They offered forestry and flood prevention job openings to the unemployed, so those were part of the jobs. And the Works Progress Administration school lunch program, they offered 80 million hot, well-balanced meals to 1 million undernourished children, and over the span of a year and a half. And this school lunch program also gave women jobs because they needed cooks. And so the school lunch program was probably about the only hot meal that a lot of undernourished children were getting in a day. Do you want to say something? You should probably say something.
I hope you're watching this.
And they also passed a legislation that ease mortgage distress among farmers and homeowners, and that will ease the burden of their debt. And they also passed organized unions for workers in specific areas, so that the workers that were in the same field as one another could fight for something that they wanted to make their job better. And it wasn't no longer just a union of a whole bunch of different fields. It was each field got their own union.
Did you say anything about the women, or how the government gave the women jobs?
I haven't done that one yet. Do you want to say that?
Sure. Under FDR, the government hired an unprecedented number of women, more than in any previous administration. Let's see what else. Yeah. What else was there? What?
You can do a lot about the Native Americans too.
Okay. The Indian Emergency Conservation Program employed about 85,000 Native Americans. The Indian Reorganization Act provided money for tribes to purchase new land. Yeah, sure. Okay, do you want it back?
Oh, sure. Okay, so the government provided federal grants to local school districts, hospitals, and social welfare agencies that were trying to assist the Native Americans, so they were able to be more educated and, help themselves with medical problems and be able to pay for things. And they also, under this Indian Emergency Conservation Program and the Indian Reorganization Act, a lot of Native Americans were able to run successful livestock trading posts, fishing businesses, and other corporations. And so that's how they were able to get jobs. Overall, about 85,000 Native Americans were employed. And what else do we have? Did we get everything? Yeah, I think so. I think we got everything.
Oh my gosh.
We went through that fast.
Yeah.
I think so. We went through all of our...
How all those things connect to prove that it was a success?
No, I think so. They all had to do with basically that a lot more jobs were made during this time and the unemployment rate decreased a ton. Well, yeah, because by 1941 it was down to 6%. It was about 25% in 1932 or something. Yeah.
So did unemployment go down drastically under FDR's?
Yes.
Yes.
So the New Deal helped with that. Yeah. What? Oh. Yeah.
Yep, I think that's about just everything. If y'all are ready to lose.
Then also on, document? might have been document C. There's a 67-year-old cotton mill worker named George Dobbin that also said that Roosevelt's concern for the workers made them feel a lot better even when they were starving, because he was trying so hard to up the pay and decrease unemployment rates under the New Deal. So,
Yes.
can you think of anything else to say?
No. Any questions?
So you feel like you guys make the case?
I think so.
Yeah.
We went over like all the groups we have on there, I think.
So go ahead and pass the mic to them. Sit back, relax, take it in, and keep track of their arguments so you can hopefully.
Oh wait, we have like, okay, I think we have, did you say this one?
No.
Okay, so direct government relief also helps like with making work relief programs such as the CCC and the WPA, which helped many poor African Americans survive, kind of like welfare programs basically.
What?
Yeah, okay, now I think,
I don't got it.
okay.
You want to make the case? And a few questions.
The New Deal was a failure
No.
by FDR and his government.
Your job is to listen. You will get your time to speak again. You just had your 10 minutes.
There was a song here, if you look at document F, it's called No Depression in Heaven, and it was written in 1936 under FDR's presidency, and these people are saying they'd rather be in heaven than working in our country. So they're saying they'd rather be dead. And as for the African Americans, they were hit hard by this New Deal because all the white people got the first crack at jobs, and then the blacks got separate and lower pay scales. The Federal Housing Authority refused to guarantee mortgages for the blacks. The Civilian Conservation Corps maintained segregated camps between the whites and blacks, and Social Security Act excluded those job categories blacks traditionally filled.
Unless you
So-
want that.
Since
Your own. Unless you need it to organize.
Since this New Deal, 40% of all black workers made their living as sharecroppers, tenant farmers. The Agriculture Adjustment Administration acreage reduction hit blacks hard because they could no longer continue their sharecropping and tenant farming jobs. And in the result, more than 100,000 blacks got forced off land. Then the first 2 years under FDR, 1933, 1934. And Roosevelt would not do anything for the blacks because he was scared the Southern Democrats, who had seniority in Congress and controlled many committee chairmanships, would block his bills if he tried to fight them on the race question. All right, you wanna?
Yeah. Okay. So, there was a lot of good points. And there's also, like, a lot of things you said. For example, you took this document C with the cotton mill worker, and you said, yeah, he wrote it. And actually, it's only from a Federal Writers Project. So it's like a story about him and what he told them. But it's paid, these writers get paid by the government. So these sources are completely biased and you cannot believe it. because on one hand is 67 years old, and he will never have like a opportunity to have another job without this program. But this federal writers project helped him, and especially these writers. But this whole completely help doesn't go far enough, because you also said there are like 1 million persons get like school meals and everything and warm meal, but it's 1 million. Imagine how many million persons here live, or how many million persons go to school every day. It's only like a drop on a big stone. It makes no difference. It's only 1 million. And moreover, this quote is also written by the VPA and government, something from the government. And so it's for the government, and this government won't say that their stuff is bad. So you cannot trust these source either. So the next thing... Okay, then you also said like it was document G, and he said there's like 10 million from Congress money goes to these native Indians, American Indians, and but they say in the same source down in the last paragraph there's all these problems are unsolved. So everything you said doesn't matter, because these 10 million were like also like these 1 million hot meals. It's a good way, but it's not enough. You have to go more, and this is the reason, because this whole program was a completely failure. Because if you start something but you cannot complete it, and that's the worst thing you can do. And also if you look at these unemployment rates, you see they're going down at first. That's nice, but it's because it's not enough. They're going up there, going down to 9% in 1937, and then it's going up to 12%. And I think this shows that it wasn't enough money at the first time, and you had to reinvest money in it. If you would make like from begin on more money, it would be cheaper and it would work better. And you also can see in document B, it's the first thing, and it's from a history book, so you can trust it. You also had like TCI as a source, and this is like also an online textbook. And you can see that they say, these program discriminated black persons, and black persons at this time make 9.7% of all the population of the U.S. So that's about 10 to 12 million. And you cannot say it's a good program if it's discriminate 1/10 of the whole population. It would be like in this room 1 to 2 persons get discriminated and get nothing from it. That's not a good idea. You have something?
The Mexican Americans also were severely impacted by this New Deal, as it forced them off their farming jobs, and most business could not afford them to work for them. And then the Mexican laborers, 1/3 of Mexican laborers went back to Mexico. Not all of them were actually chose to go back, but some were even deported because they didn't want any more people working in their businesses. And then as for for the women, many of them were fired because as the Depression deepened, women were pressured to leave their workforce to free up jobs for men with families. And any women that already were in a family were not allowed to work at all, leaving only for the men to bring them out of poverty, and that's not doing good when you only have one worker in the family. You got anything, Patrick?
Yeah, but I have another thing. Then your third point you made up, it's thinking that woman gets more and more jobs and everything. And I really want to know who wrote this quote, or who wrote it. It's like in TCI, or where you found this source. About that woman gets more and more jobs and gets more employment rate. That's from TCI.
It's the one where they're talking about school lunches.
Yeah, okay, if it's like this.
Employed as lunch ladies.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but how I said, these lunch ladies is from the Works Progress Administration, so it's an department by state, and and she is a assistant administrator, so he is like in the in the higher ranks there, and so you cannot really trust her, because if she says our program is bad, then she would shoot himself in her own knee, and it doesn't make sense. So it's a completely unbiased, it's biased, and you cannot trust these documents so good. That's what I want to add. Someone else? Yeah, I'm done. Back to America.
So now, after both sides give their case, we just
Each side gets 5 minutes to poke holes and say, here's why we don't believe that source, or that's wrong, or that's exaggerated, or we
just kind of did that.
misinterpreted
You did that in our stuff together.
You already did that?
Yes.
So they just
Okay,
need
so
to-
success side, you get to go first. What's wrong with their case? My computer is beating me up right now, so
Maybe you're getting one in school.
no. So success side, you get 5 minutes to bring up any issues you can find with their case.
Okay, your case about.
What's wrong
Well-
with their source? Why is it biased? Why is it exaggerated?
lost it.
How do you define success versus failure?
I think that
Yes.
when your case.
And I was gonna make you guys look bad.
Are you sure? You sure?
Yeah,
I think of it.
but I can't remember.
Well, I feel like too that all the programs are still helping regardless if it's not enough or whatever. It's still helping quite a bit, and like even if the unemployment rate had fluctuated a little bit, it was still decreasing. Regardless, it was not as bad as it started. So obviously the New Deal had been helping in some way.
I kind of remember. Okay, so who was it that got us out of the Great Depression? FDR, not Hoover. Hoover just stepped back and let it go. No, you don't get this. Have it back then. No, not for another 5
Well, and
minutes.
another thing too is that even if the Native Americans still had a few problems, at least they were still getting some help, some way. So it was overall like the New Deal was still helping everyone a little bit. It may not have been perfect, but it was still helping. So it was a success. Can
Do they get it back?
we go like back and forth?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, he
So-
said they already kind of made theirs. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so no. Absolutely no. Because we are against Hoover. We never said something that that this idea is bad. We say it's not going far enough. We are more liberal. We want more stuff. So you missed the point. It doesn't hit us because we are more liberal. We are on the left side of you.
More jobs.
That's a. You want to say something?
I need to say something real quick.
No, here come. No, sorry.
Also, so you're telling me that okay, it's okay to give we're doing good giving the white people jobs, but screw the black people, screw the Mexicans, screw most of the women. You're just okay.
Do
give it to her. She's the woman.
Well, yeah, like the women were getting jobs though because they were working as
They worked at
under the
soup
lunch
kitchens.
program. They were like lunch ladies basically.
Yeah. What?
Even if they might have been losing a few jobs to men, they were still
They were
like
s-
a lot gaining some of
They
the
were
lunch
not
programs.
the only ones men were not the only ones bringing money in because women worked at schools providing school lunches.
Yeah, or even in this lunch program too. And I forgot what I was gonna say. And there were government relief programs for the African Americans. So,
No. Yeah, and all this stuff is true and everything. But it's
You bet it's true.
yeah, but it's not going far enough. You need more.
It is
still
going
helping,
far
that's why
enough.
it's
It's still
success.
bringing money in.
Yeah, but if it's still not enough because you see it discriminating blacks. It's about 9.7%.
What do you have against blacks? Okay, you keep bringing them up.
You're the one that
It's
has
nothing
things
against.
them, actually.
It's not if I say against it because I say your program doesn't hit them because they're like still they get discriminated by your program, and these are 9.7% of the whole American population, and where most times the blacks in this time they are more in the, if you see the pyramid, they're on the downside, and so these 9.7%, these are the 9.7% who really needs help. This is a 10 to 12 million US Americans who need help and they get discriminated. So you cannot say it's a good program if you don't make something for them. It have to go more, and it's
There was something for them. There was school lunches for their kids at school.
for 1 million. But I say there are more than
Oh, that's unfortunate for the other 79 million.
like they're still better off than they were.
yeah.
Like there's not as many starving now. There's more jobs.
Oh wow, it's
They're all getting.
The world is getting better.
It's successful. Because
so yeah. So it's awesome that wow, 1 million starving less, but we have still 5 or 7 million who are starving
Tell me, where did you eat lunch today?
in the school cafeteria.
Exactly. Where do you think those women got their jobs from?
Not from your program.
probably help.
No.
But you see, you think that this helped the women, but really, there was less that were helped than more that were thrown out to the curb because
How do you know that? You're just pulling out of your.
it's on TCI right here. Although the new deal failed to bring concrete gains for many women and minorities.
What section?
5.
Where at?
The emergence of a new coalition in politics. The very bottom. First sentence.
Emergence of new deal coalition.
Said Americans benefits outweighed the shortcomings.
But you see, like, all the women,
That it was a failure.
all the women and minorities were just thrown to the side to die in the streets.
No, that is not how it was at all.
Clearly it was, for the minorities.
They got help too. Everyone got a little help some way.
Oh yeah, when did the Mexicans get their help? Mexican Americans.
They had to work for it, but yes, eventually they got help.
Oh yeah, deporting them is helping them.
It was helping them. Look at them now. Look
How
at
bad
where
is
they
the
stand.
economy if Mexicans are going back to Mexico?
It's really, really bad. It's like nothing going on. So this whole
During the Great Depression.
yeah. So
They took our jobs.
All the way down to 6% unemployment rate from 25%.
Yeah. That's what he got for that one.
what
You ain't got nothing for it.
World War II starts, so you need more.
What is going on?
Explosion.
That's my timer.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, broken gas line.
Now, here's what's going to happen. Did both sides get to poke holes as far as you would like to in the other's case?
Yeah.
You feel satisfied? Now, I assigned which side you were on. That designation now goes away. Try to get all of 5 of your group to agree on a side. I don't care what side. I don't care what side.
No.
You can go to any side you want. See if we can reach a consensus where we're all 5 on the same side.
Well, there's no way I'm going on that side. Ever.
Exactly.
And
So-
you can. I assigned your side, so it's okay to say I feel like I've been on the wrong side. Anybody can switch any way they want. We need to get all 5 of you on the same side.
You all better come to this side.
How can you even say that it didn't? It was successful because it helped.
Yes. Yeah, it may not have
Like,
helped
they were
the
still-
Mexicans
it was
and the
still-
black people, but the women still
It
got
still helped the
jobs.
black people a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
Barely.
That still
Little bit.
brought money in.
It's still better than it started.
There's a lot of singles without
Yeah.
jobs, and
Well,
there's
whose
few that
fault's
actually.
that? Maybe they didn't get married.
But yeah, but then the husband's got to care for
What
more.
if they're a lunch lady or a school teacher?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
how many
no
positions do you
comment.
think they're just going to put 5,000 lunch ladies in a cafeteria? How's that going to
There
help
is
them?
more than one school around.
Yeah, but not enough to withstand all the jobs
Yeah,
that the
there
women
is.
need.
How do you know?
How do
This
you
is
know?
I
throughout
don't
the
know
whole
either,
nation.
so-
Exactly.
That was only in 10,000 schools. So there's only like 5 lunch ladies per school.
Is that better than what they had before?
Yeah.
That's what
What
I mean.
now?
Like, it's still successful because
So you should
they're
probably.
still better off.
So you should
Let's hear
probably
your argument, Patrick. We haven't heard you talk too much.
Probably
They're
just come to this
still-
side.
Take everything from
They're still better off. Like, everything's better than it was
Take
when
this
the Great
device.
Depression started.
I don't want that device.
You take it.
No, we're right.
I think he took. Oh,
There
never
you
mind.
go. Oh, that thing's like all crooked.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that it didn't help. Like,
I
it's
recommend
successful
that.
because it still helped in some, in like certain ways, like decreasing unemployment
Yes.
rate. There was like so many more jobs now, and like pretty much every ethnic group or like the workers, everyone got a little something out of it, and there was less starving. They did get some. There
100,000
were,
of them lost their job.
Well, that's their own
got-
They still had-
harder.
but
So
they
you're
had,
telling me, okay, we got 30 working over here. That makes up for the 100,000.
Yeah.
they had the
That's still-
CCC and the WPA.
It's a very, very
which
small fraction.
helped the poor African Americans
thousands.
survive. They had welfare programs for them
Thank you.
to
Thanks
help
for
them
letting me
survive after
Okay, so
after work
They
relief.
can go and buy a piece of cheese and call that a good piece.
Like, yeah, they'd go buy cheese.
It's better than starving to death. It's better
Yeah,
than
they still
nothing.
stayed alive. They didn't starve to death.
Bye, Tom.
And based on that one song, these people rather die than work for the pay that the government gave them.
Let's see who. Let me see this. What page is this?
That's it.
I don't know.
I shouldn't be surprised.
They also
What'd you do? You steal somebody's laptop. Here, don't forget your shirt.
Where are you going? Here, you want your laptop?
No.
I don't think he's coming back.
Why do
You gonna switch?
everyone's too stubborn.
I just told him to pick a side based on what he really thinks, not on food. That's all I told him.
Do you really think you want this one?
You four collectively
Come on,
are
Jeff.
gonna convince
You
him.
know that you will help a lot.
How do you know this family wasn't the exception? One of the only ones that maybe had.
Alright, just face it.
Had
Just come to
benefited.
This side. This side has
It
a
still
better
it
outlook
still
on
helped
life.
them.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's successful because it helped like a ton.
Ah. So before you go even deeper into the hole that you're already digging,
Yeah.
to this side.
Seriously.
Are we really digging a hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Anybody
digging.
want to switch?
No,
Okay. It's up to you.
I'm not switching.
Can we
We're not done until
stop
all
recording
five
this?
has to be on the same side, whatever side that is.
Just come to this side.
Just gonna do something.
No, we just say that the program doesn't go far enough. You have to
But it's still successful because it helped some.
Yes.
How successful is it if the major minority doesn't get support?
but it still helps them. So just
It's
come
still
to the
better
side.
off than it, like
Okay,
everything.
Some, but not all of them. And
It's
that's
better
like-
than none.
They got something. Like it's.
Yeah, but you cannot say that, okay, it helps with maybe 5%.
That's an important question. If we don't define that, we're never going to agree, right?
So ask him that.
You should be able to say that.
So how? Oh God.
You forget what.
How do we define success?
I'll take your guys'
Success is the major part of the society gets supported or gets these what the program says. So if the program says, we want that the unders or the worker class gets more supported, if then the bigger part of the persons get supported. But this doesn't, it's not here. So
if you go to the Great Depression,
you would make more money into this whole program than the whole, or everyone who needs help would get help. So that's a good thing. Maybe not 100%, that's not possible.
Exactly.
But
You just
maybe
answered your own
90%.
question. So therefore it helped.
was successful.
No,
It did help.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Going off the definition of success, you accomplished
And then explain your evidence. So it's about
everything of the Great Depression.
New Deal evaluation. The only other thing you're
Fixing
determining is
everything.
outlaw poster.
So therefore, you have not 100% fixed it. Make
You
it
don't know that they
successful.
wanted to like
Click on
make everything 100% successful, or like everything on mine it says accomplish it of an aim or a purpose. Their purpose was to like slow the Great Depression or make it better for everyone, and they did because they.
Their purpose
They-
is to get rid of it.
Okay.
How do you know that they did? They did after all this.
Hitting us in the middle.
No,
No.
I'm going to that side.
There's no way.
No, we don't. I don't go to this. It's the middle line here.
what is the middle?
The middle is it helps a lot of persons, but not everyone. You have to go farther and make more money into it. That you can say, okay, it's a success, but it's also not a failure.
Would you agree to it was more successful than it was?
If you
A
did
failure.
nothing,
Yeah.
Was it more of a success than it was a failure? Overall.
Yes.
our audience.
Ha! So come to this side.
So will you admit then that it was not overall successful for everybody, especially a few minorities?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still successful. So you should probably come to this side.
Is
But
Well, we're making a new line in the middle. Do you two gentlemen agree what he said? Overall, it is successful, but not for some minorities.
Yeah, it's successful for some, but not all.
Okay, overall, is it more of a success or more of a
Yeah.
failure? Yeah.
the
well,
only people that
We
I
need to
can
hear
think
you
that
say
it
it.
didn't.
Yeah.
I need to repeat the exact words.
Is the New Deal more of a success or more of a failure, based on your examination and your discussion as a group?
Come on.
Forget specific little groups here and there. Is it more of a success or is it more of a failure? You can answer it however you want.
Yeah, it is a more of a success than a failure.
Mr. Phelps?
I have to go with that.
I didn't hear you say the
Yeah, you gotta.
More of a success than
Okay, do we have a consensus then?
Yeah.
Very good. So now what we're going to do,
Oh, sorry, I had to wrap around my
with the
fingers.
disclaimer,
no,
That
I
it-
want to hear from them. I
okay.
want to hear that.
So while it was more of a success than a failure, it did not help all minorities.
and especially not the black persons who are 11 million of the U.S. population.
It still helped the black people a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit, but the majority not. I want to hear that from
Wait.
you.
It still
It
helped.
still
that
helped the
minority.
black people though.
The only people that I can think of that didn't help at all was the Mexican Americans.
But we, especially
And some women too.
9.7% of the U.S. population. I want to hear that they have issues with that. I want to hear.
I like this deal here.
Say it.
It's a good deal.
That,
So we're not shaking hands until.
yeah, you have to say, overall it was a success, but especially the black person had issues with it, and other majorities. I want to hear that, and also it wasn't going far enough.
Overall, it was a success, even for the black people, but it didn't help all of them, but it helped some of them, so that's all that counts.
Okay, now Obama is the best president ever.
No,
You should've quit while
Obama's
you
the
were
worst
ahead.
president there is.
I don't know.
What do you need to hear from her?
The same thing. Say it.
No. It was a success.
I know, but what's the disclaimer?
Yeah. But it didn't help everyone, and especially not a really
But
big
if it
majority.
didn't
Help
That's
out
what
at all,
helped
then
it.
why did Obama become president? Exactly. You should have stopped while you were ahead.
So far, the four of you agree you need to repeat after him so we're all on the same page.
I feel like it was a success.
But,
No. That's
well, then you don't all agree.
We don't all agree.
But Hillary Clinton is top?
No, Hillary Clinton.
No, Hillary.
No, okay.
No.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I wrote these up. Okay, I want to hear from you. You cannot say it's an overall
Yeah,
success.
how do you
Seriously.
Like, because so many
Quinta,
people.
our
I'm
side.
basing the success off of like it helped. It just helped in general. Like,
Oh yeah, it helped maybe some of
Help the
them,
small
yeah, but
percent.
not all of them.
no,
So,
it helps a lot.
what is a lot of you? If I say
25% unemployment rate down to 6%
Yeah,
by
that is
1941.
Not including
19%.
minorities.
That includes all Americans.
yeah, and
Well, minorities, they were the lower amount of Americans, but they were unemployed more than they were employed. He's checking his watch.
That wasn't a success.
now come to our side.
No,
No,
Are
we
you
agreed.
recanting?
no. I don't know.
Like, are you changing your story?
But if you change your story, you lose all your trust the person's put into you. Literally. Then everything you said doesn't matter because then it's like, yeah, I'm one time on this side, and this side, and this side. So,
It's
as
like-
a person or as a witnesses, you completely are
Yeah, it
useless.
was a success for 99.9% of people.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Blacks getting lynched in the South, and
Yeah,
the
and-
president not enforcing anti-lynching law.
Yeah,
Well,
and
because he was
moreover,
scared.
99.9% would include these 1% from where they took the money out. So,
I was paying a whole lot of attention.
That just makes your
do what's right,
argument.
even if it's not popular.
Yeah?
Isn't it right to protect blacks from lynch mobs?
Yeah, kind of.
Because the law says that's illegal, but our federal government, led by FDR, did not
Where does
enforce
it say that that's illegal?
Look at the document. Which document is that about African Americans? Go to B.
Where I don't be.
It's in the second paragraph.
Even more galling to black leaders, like driving you crazy. The president failed to support an anti-lynching bill and a bill to abolish the poll tax. A poll tax is a way to discriminate against poor voters. So imagine if you go to vote today, they said that would be $10.
So basically,
That's so unfair to poor people that they'll go, well, I can't vote. I need that money for food or rent or my car. He didn't try and get rid of either of those.
So basically, what it's saying though is there was a legit law.
Wait, but to
They're trying to get one, and FDR would not support it and come out and
I
say,
thought that was because
Yeah,
there
so
was
technically, in a sense, it's not that bad
Congress, so
because-
it wouldn't have passed anyways.
I know, but shouldn't you do what's right, even if it's not popular?
Well, maybe he didn't.
He just
believe
Well,
told
wait,
me
but
he would.
is it even gonna pass though?
But is it about doing what's right or what's popular?
Maybe FDR
You can
didn't
say, well,
believe
it's
in that.
popular to let them lynch blacks and have a poll tax. Okay, I'll give you that. In the South, it was.
I'm not saying.
But-
that. I'm gonna quit lying on my head.
Does that mean you should just be a coward and not stand up for what you believe in? Just because it's the cool thing, go with the flow,
Well,
go
no,
with
but I
Congress?
was like, yeah, I guess it's right. It's the right, like, you should do the right thing, I guess, but still. How, I just don't get how, if you knew it wasn't gonna pass, like, why put the effort towards it?
Then how are things ever going to change if no one has the courage to stand up and do something unpopular?
Like that one poster you had in here that one time.
Which one?
The
Not
one
the
like,
Nazis?
yeah, that one.
I ain't leaving. I ain't moving.
Okay, let's just come to this consensus. Overall, the New Deal is mostly successful. However, some groups were alienated or not given the same protections, for example, African Americans and Mexican Americans. That does not mean he didn't help them some. They weren't helped as much as the average American. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in Canvas now. Very good job.